real. This is exactly what is happening here. You group 1, group B sees this emptiness of the water is not there. Group A sees the water. How? It's just a perception coming. But atoms there, and your mind creates a perception, appearance there. You getting it? Okay. So there, now if the water is created, if you agree that this water is just your mental perception, the whole kibbutz is also mental perception. You agree with me?
Yeah.
Good. Not only kibbutz, even the whole Israel, the whole world, whole universe, that is simply your own mental perception. So this is the meaning. It says, all phenomena encompassing samsara and nirvana are but the radiance, the spontaneous awareness, radiance of your own mind. Your mind perceives things as samsara, nirvana, and so on. This is how our mind perceives things. Awareness itself, devoid of elaborations. Now, what we did touch earlier, this awareness, which is like the source, the radiance, whose radiance manifests in the form of all phenomena, this awareness is also empty of intrinsic reality. It says, awareness itself, devoid of elaborations, devoid of objective elaboration. Even this mind, which is responsible for creating this person, all the phenomena, even this mind is actually doesn't exist objectively. Is realized in the nature of Dharmakaya, pervading all existences and appearances of samsara and nirvana. The true nature of what group B seeing emptiness of water, what group B seeing is emptiness of water, and group A seeing water, these two entity-wise one are different.
One.
Entity-wise one meaning that at the bottom there's the emptiness, and from this emptiness manifests in the form of water. Right? At the bottom is like, again, at the bottom is like the Leorala's emptiness, and then from the Leorala's emptiness, then the Leorala manifests. Likewise, each one of us, all phenomena, at the ground is the emptiness of that, and from this, depending on how you see, then things manifest like this. This is the meaning of the all phenomena encompassing samsara and nirvana are but the radiance of spontaneous awareness. It's the radiance, it's just the perception of your mind. Okay, this is very precious. Okay. Okay. 17. This basic element, meaning the Dharmadhatu, which is the seed, is held by the basis of all phenomena. So this Dharmadhatu, 2, emptiness of your mind and your mind, right? Your mind and both. So your mind can be seen as the basis, can be seen as all the phenomena to be the radiance of this mind, right? Say the movie projected, we are watching a movie here in the movie theater. Movie theater, how big is the screen? Anybody? The biggest movie theater. No, biggest movie theater. Oh, wow. Okay. Biggest movie theater in Israel, just imagine what it would be the size of the screen. No idea? 10 meters, 15 meters. Okay, let's say 15 by 10, let's say. It's huge. This movie is actually coming from the... Hey, you're watching the movie here? This movie is coming from the projector, which is very small. You getting it? Projector, the lens is very small. And the film is even smaller, right? From there, this huge movie is coming. Likewise, this massive universe, the massive universe is all coming from the very small projector like your own mind. Okay, this is very important. So, say that this mind, this pure mind manifests in the form of the whole universe, samsara and nirvana. 1. Number 2, emptiness of this mind. Emptiness of this mind manifests in the form of the mind, and this mind manifests in the form of all phenomena. You're getting it? So the foundation is the emptiness of the mind. So many teachers, they will teach you that this mind, which is the conventional mind per se, not the absolute mind, this mind is the source where all the other phenomena, they arise from, like the radiance. All phenomena are the radiance of this mind. This is correct. This is very true. This is very true. Then the subtler version is that not only is this mind, the emptiness of this mind, in this mind is the radiance of this emptiness of mind. This emptiness of mind is the foundation. From this the mind arises, and the mind then radiates in the form of all phenomena. So this is how all phenomena come into existence. So this is how we have to read this stanza. 17. This basic element, which is the seed, is held to be the basis of all phenomena through its purification, step by step. So this, the mind there, the proliferating Buddha nature, as well as the natural Buddha nature inside. As you purify the mental defiles more and more, step by step, then what happens? The total purity comes out. What is that total purity? Buddhahood. The Buddhahood, the pseudo Buddhahood will attain. 18. Spotless are the sun and the moon, but obscured by fivefold stains. These are clouds, the smoke, the mist, Rahu's face, and the dust as well. Okay, so 5 examples are given, examples of the obscurations. Likewise, our mind is obscured by 19. Similarly, the luminous mind is obscured by fivefold stains. They are desire, malice, laziness, excitation, and doubt. Okay, let's say the desire and malice. Desire and malice, meaning disliking, ill will, right? Desire and ill will towards others. Say the desire, the glues to the object. Then the malice pushes others away from you. You're getting it? Involuntary pull and push. Involuntary pull is desire. Involuntary push is malice. Just pushing others. I don't like you. I hate you. This is malice. Okay. So these are 2 things. Then what happens is that with these 2 things, this is the samsara. This is where your Buddha nature is obscured with the involuntary pull and push. Pull is attachment. Then push is the malice or the aversion. Then the malice aversion, and then the excitation, and the laziness. The laziness and excitation. Laziness is your mind is very sloppy, sinking, lethargic, heavy. And excitation is overactivity of the mind. So these 2 things will not allow you to still the mind. Excitation, laziness will allow you not to still the mind. Finally, we need to have the purity come out. All the dirt should settle. Dirt, of course, is being excited and not allowing you to remove the dirt because of the excitation and the laziness, these 2 things. Okay, then the doubt. The doubt is the one which, say for example, okay, let's say that, okay, it's very hot there, hot outside, it's 42, maybe, I don't know, today's what temperature. Let's say 42 outside, it's so hot, yes, it's very hot. Okay, never mind, if you go into this room, let's go to this room, there's the AC there, it's very cool there. I doubt. Right? So, if you are the one who wants to take me inside this, saying that it's cool inside, if you don't want the heat, you can go inside, then I said, I'm wondering, there's something must be wrong there. Right? I doubt. So this doubt will stop you from going towards the awakening the Buddha nature. So these 5 will stop you from awakening. So this now coming down to the word practical advice is finally just see how to reduce. It's not that today we learn this and tomorrow we become until perfect. No, let us not expect that. So at least be mindful, be aware of attachment, aversion. These are the involuntary pull and push. This is samsara. Involuntary pull. This is samsara. Now this in samsara, as long as you are into this, you are not free from samsara. Then, so how this samsara is constantly being activated is through excitation and the laziness. Laziness will make you not to work towards removing this pull and push. And excitation will invigorate this pull and push. And the doubt will not even allow you to go close towards that. So these are the 5 obscurations which obscure us of the Buddha nature inside, which is so beautiful otherwise.
Why don't mention ignorance here?
Okay, this is a good question. Good question. Let's say that the ignorance, we see that we talk about the Dharmadhatu in the form of two ways. What are the two Dharmadhatus? Proliferating Buddha nature and natural Buddha nature. Okay, so we already, so all these like what? The desire, malice, excitation, and the laziness and the doubt, all there, the ground is ignorance. Ground is ignorance because we are going to awaken this. We're going to awaken ourselves, right? We're going to wake up from the sleep of ignorance. So these are the things which keep you into ignorance all the time. So ignorance is like the resultant state in this context. Ignorance is like the resultant state, and these five stops us from waking up from the ignorance, right? Otherwise, say how these five happen, the ground is ignorance. With the ground, ignorance is the ground, then these five things happen.
So like the source, the ignorance is the source of those five?
Exactly. One, ignorance is the source of the five. Number two is that the whole purpose, what we are doing here is what? Is to discover the Buddha nature. What is that Buddha nature? I said, which is, say, what we have learned thus far. Which of the two is the more profound one? Natural Buddha nature, which is the emptiness of the proliferating Buddha nature. So that is the ultimate reality of the Buddha nature, ultimate reality of the proliferating Buddha nature. So this is wisdom to get there. To get there is to remove the ignorance. These two are synonymous. To remove the ignorance pertaining to the Buddha nature, proliferating Buddha nature, and get into the wisdom of emptiness of the proliferating Buddha nature, these two are the same. So what blocks you there? In other words, what blocks you from removing this ignorance? What blocks you from removing this ignorance? These five factors. You getting it? And then to work on these five factors, as I said earlier, on a practical basis. As I said earlier, on practical terms, these are the five things. For example, attachment we know, desire we know, malice we know, excitation we know, then excitement we know, the laziness we know, and then doubt we know. We know all these things. But the ignorance is something very subtle. Ignorance is very subtle, right? Okay, even if somebody can be extremely kind, extremely disciplined, and extremely whatever, right? But can constantly be caught up in ignorance of seeing things as objectively real, unless and until one does not study emptiness. So the step is first work on these five. These five which we can easily identify. Work on these five. So therefore, this is what I'm saying. It's not that, we can expect that we study, okay, so these five, tomorrow I have to get rid of these things, right? Try your best. Try your best. Just see how much, within your capacity, how much you can, minimize attachment, how much we can minimize malice, aversion, how much we can minimize, say, the laziness. For example, let's say, so you are in the sitting room, and this book is in your bedroom. Okay, he said something about the Dharmadhatu. It's amazing. You said amazing, right? Amazing. It said which tense? I don't remember it. Where's the book? It's in my bedroom. Okay, I'll do it tomorrow. You already said amazing. And actually, you are not really feeling amazing. If you're amazed, right, you'll be excited to jump to get the book. But you're saying, oh, okay, let me tomorrow. It's in the next room. I'll read tomorrow. This is laziness. You are getting it? So just see how to overcome the laziness, how to overcome the excitement. Say, for example, if I give you this water, he's so kind, he's so good, right? And the next day, I'm sorry, I cannot give you that. He's so bad, right? Extreme. This is excitation. This is again a problem. See, where somebody's been kind to you, deep inside appreciate it. And then even in words, okay, say to the extent, later on if something goes wrong, right? Something goes wrong, don't make the angel the demon. right? One time you make the person the angel, the next time something small goes wrong, you make the person a demon, right? If this happens, this is where your fluctuations of thought process is so vulnerable to the fluctuation. This is where we have the loss of the freedom. So this is what we have to control. Unless we control our mind on these gross levels, which we can easily identify, right? It's not that we have to remove it right now. Just try your best. Try to best to work on these. Try your best. Do the best you can, right? So earlier, your say the degree of these 5 within the mind can be like say the 80%. And now because of this study, reflection, it has become like 79. 1% is reduced, right? And other people will say, no, this person hopeless, so lazy, so malicious, so bad. But you are improving. That is important. That is important. And then finally, the ignorance. Ignorance, oh yeah, I'm into ignorance, I have to minimize it. No. Ignorance, how to get into ignorance? You have to study. Cognitively, you have to see that what you are seeing is not true, right? It's not about how ardent you are, how diligent you are. No, it's about the transformation into cognitive thinking. How things appear to you, they don't exist. So for this, we have to study, reflect, and meditate. That is on the subtler level. You getting it? So this is so precious. Finally, to get it to, so these five obscurations, we can minimize simply by identifying them. Yes, attachment. Yes, aversion. Yes, laziness. Yes, excitement. Yes, doubt. You can identify them. And then try to minimize to the best you can. To cut from the root, you have to see emptiness. You have to work on to remove the ignorance. Okay, till 3 or 3:30? 3:30? Okay, good. Okay. Stanza 20. Stanza 20. When I was studying in my monastery, so this stanza, hit my mind. Hit my mind meaning I came across this stanza as a part of the citation in the textbook of the emptiness, the textbook. There was the 9th or 10th year, and these two stanzas, stanza 20 and 21 here, these two are cited there. This really made me feel so, the feeling the weight, the feeling the preciousness of these two teachings. So precious, these two stanzas. Okay, let's read this. A garment that was purged by fire may be soiled by various stains. For example, let's say we have what we have known as the fireproof clothes. Fireproof, right, clothes. So this fireproof clothes, if it becomes dirty, then what we can do is that we can put this cloth in the fire. And the fire will burn the dirt, but will not burn the cloth or the cloth, right? It will not burn the cloth. And this cloth is the example of a mind. And the dirt which is burned by the fire, these dirts are your mental dirts. And the fire is the wisdom of emptiness. Right? Okay. A garment that was purged by fire may be soiled by various stains. So this garment may be soiled by various stains. Many stains are there. And if you put it in the fire, when it is put into a blaze, again, the stains are burned, the garment not. So what happens? The metal dirts are burned. What is left? Huh? The metal dirts are burned, then the garment is left. Strange. Metal dirts are burned. Huh? Pure mind is left. Very good. Don't think of the garment all the time. Right? I've already moved to the mind. Right? So the mental dirts are mental soils, mental dirts, afflictive obscurations, cognitive obscurations, they're all burned. What is left? The pure mind is left. Right? That is the Buddhahood. Okay. It's soiled by stains of when it is put into blaze again, the stains are burned. Stains like what? Afflictive obscurations, cognitive obscurations, and then immediate the previous stanza, the 5 obscurations. 5 obscurations: attachment, aversion, excitation, laziness, and the doubt. Right? So these are burned. The stains are burned, but the garment not. Garment remains intact. Then the garment becomes very pure garment. 21. Likewise, the mind that is so luminous, our mind, is soiled by the stains of craving. It's so luminous, but why it is not luminous at the moment is because the metal stains, they stop us. Afflictive obscurations, cognitive obscurations, they stop us. There's the luminous is soiled by the stains of craving and so forth. The craving, or the earlier, the desire. Afflictions burn in wisdom's fire. When you expose this mind, which is soiled by the metal dirts like the 5 obscurations, then when exposed this to the wisdom, the fire of the wisdom, the afflictions burn in the wisdom's fire, but its luminosity, the pure mind, is not burned. The sutra that teaches emptiness, however many spoken by the victors, they all remove afflictions, but never undermine this dhatu. Okay, so now as what's your name? Leora. Leora, there are 3 Leora now. Okay. Huh? Okay. So what Leora said, now look. Sutras that teach emptiness. Finally, which makes us move from Gate first towards Gate. How many of you are in Gate, by the way? How many of you are in the first Gate? No one. You? Okay. Second Gade, maybe okay. Eric is in second Gade. Then the third Paragade. Okay. So what I'm saying is that what really takes us from the ordinary state to the first Gade. First Gade the first Gade we don't really require emptiness understanding. It's not really necessary. If you have, it's easy. If we don't have it, still we can move to the first. It's on the basis of the bodhicitta. If you're bodhicitta, you already are there. To the first. Then from the first to the second, to the third, to the fourth, to the fifth, without the wisdom of emptiness, it's impossible. So there, particularly second to third, and more precisely from the third. From the third, actual cleansing of the mental defilements, actual burning of the mental defilements happen. The burning happens through the non-dual wisdom, the fire of the non-dual wisdom. So this non-dual wisdom is required. Okay, so to share with you the politically correct technical answer is that the wisdom of emptiness, you can have it way before you even enter into the first Gade. But what is the latest when you have this wisdom of emptiness is the first one. What's the first Gade? Gate, Paragate, Parasamgate, Bodhiswa. These 5, they are the 5 parts. What are the 5 parts? Part of the first one, accumulation. The second one, the part of preparation. The third one, part of seeing. The fourth one, part of meditation. The fifth one, part of no more learning. 5 parts. Now, the latest, when should you have the wisdom of emptiness? Latest by what? Okay, let's see. The path of accumulation, split it into 3. Small scope of the small path of accumulation, middle path of accumulation, and the great path of accumulation. Just path of accumulation, you split into 3. The beginning, middle, and the end. Small, middle, and the end. 3. And so latest, by the latest, you need to have the wisdom of emptiness during the second level, the middle path of accumulation. Middle path of accumulation, you must have the wisdom of emptiness. If you don't have this, you cannot move to the great path of accumulation. Without that, you cannot go to the path of preparation. Without this, you cannot go to the path of seeing. Forget about path of meditation. So the wisdom of emptiness must be there, latest by which path? The middle path of accumulation. You're getting it? Path of accumulation is divided into three. The middle path of accumulation, there you must have wisdom of emptiness. And many people already have wisdom of emptiness even before the path of accumulation. But if somebody were to, cultivate wisdom of emptiness later, then the latest you must have it by this time. Okay. So we see that it is the wisdom of emptiness, which is the fire of the wisdom, the fire which burns all our mental states. Finally, what takes us from the first Gade to the second, to the third, to the fourth, fifth, is all by the wisdom of emptiness, driven by the force of bodhicitta. For example, say if there are poisonous trees going there, what will cut the poisonous trees is the X. X is you have a very fine, very sharp X there. And then who's the woodcutter? Somebody who's an ill person, sick person who can't even lift the X. Right? Can you imagine that all these the trees are going to be cut? No. Why not? The X is there, very sharp X is there. But X alone is not sufficient. The force must be there. For somebody, expert woodcutter must be there. Right? And with expert woodcutter, without the X, again, cannot do anything. So both are required. One is the actual X, and the other is the driving force, the force to use this X. Likewise, X is the metaphor for the wisdom of emptiness, and the force is the metaphor for bodhicitta. And the bodhicitta must be supported by renunciation. So the bodhicitta and renunciation, these two are required as the force to use the X of the wisdom of emptiness. Okay. So the wisdom of emptiness plays a very important role. Finally, to even cut the 5 obstructions, meaning the indicated there, to cut them from the root, to abandon the mental defilements. There are 2 ways of doing it. To abandon mental defilements, there are 2. One is suppressing, and the other one is getting rid of from the root. 2. So getting rid of the afflictions, getting rid of the mental defilements from the root happens only at the Paragade level. Only at the level of Paragade and above, not before that. Don't forget it. Which is that path? Paragade? Path of seeing. Only from path of seeing, then the actual cleansing happens. Right? Okay, example that I like to give you is how to remove the mental defilements. Okay, so we do the Vajrasattva, 100 the syllable mantras, doing the Vajrasattva practice for purification, so forth. Without the wisdom of emptiness, without reaching the path of seeing, it's a very powerful practice, but how it cleanses the mental defilement is by suppressing the mental defilements, weakening the mental defilements. They will not eradicate from the root. Eradication from the root happens only in the path of seeing and above. For that matter, you need to have the non-dual wisdom of emptiness. You're getting it? The non-dual wisdom, to see emptiness directly. Okay. 22. The sutras that teach emptiness, however many spoken by the victors. All the Buddhas, they spoke about emptiness, right? Wake up from the sleep of ignorance, by seeing emptiness. This is what the victors meaning the Buddhas who are who gain the victory. Why they are known as victor? Who gain the victory over the mental, the defilements, the four, the enemy of the mental defilements. Who gain the victory over the enemy of the mental defilements. So the mental defilements, they are referred to as the enemies, right? And the Buddhas, they won over these enemies. Okay, victors, they all remove afflictions, but never undermine the dhatu. So, the wisdom of emptiness, which the Buddhas taught, if you practice, they will remove our mental defilements, but will never burn the dhatu. What is that dhatu? The Buddha nature inside. The dhatu will become manifest. Instead of the dhatu being eradicated, the dhatu will become manifest, even more clear. 23. Water dwelling deep within the earth remains untainted through and through. Just so